What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So today we're going to be drawing Muzan versus Yoriichi. So I looked for a couple of images. I wanted to find one that was just the two of them sort of coming at each other from the side, but this was the best one I could find. So it's from the manga. So spoiler if you don't read the manga. So this is Yoriichi fighting Muzan. And like Muzan has a big shock look on his face because Yoriichi's very good with the sword. So let's start with Muzan over here on the left. We're kind of close up on his face. And then there's Yoriichi. I tried to fit him up here, so kind of behind the flames and stuff, okay? So let's go. Center point of my page is about here. Use a pencil and an eraser and hit pause if I go too fast, okay? So center point over, head's going to be in here. All right, so I'm going to start with his right eye. So we're just going to curve a line up and over like this, right? And then we're going to thicken this up. We'll just add some extra eyelash sort of lines. Now it's anime sort of manga sort of style. So it can be, you can do it like real sketchy if you want. You know, it'll work. All right, like so. And then his bottom eyelid, just down here. Real simple, kind of like that. And then his iris, a circle inside. And he's kind of looking down with this kind of shocked expression on his face, right? So iris just in there. He has all these lines kind of just around the edge of his eye, all these kind of stress lines, like that. And then his pupil is just like sort of a cat's eye kind of thing. Real sharp. And then he has veins, these kind of letter Y's just coming out, these lines coming out from his eyes, demon eyes, okay, that kind of thing. Okay. So the other eye is kind of up. So if we were, because his head's tilted, so if we come across from that eye, right, a little bit, and then go up, and we start our eye here. So it's kind of just in line with the top part of his eye here, see? Because the head is tilted on this angle. And then we bring the eye lid across the other side. Boom. And again, you thicken this up, and you can do it real sketchy. You don't have to be careful with it, and like unless you want to do it sort of anime style, then you can be a bit neater. But okay, just that kind of thing. Then his bottom eyelid, just down here. And then his iris and his pupil. So this one's kind of, this eye is kind of turned a different way. So it's kind of like an oval sort of. Like that. And then his cat-like eye. With some veins. So real sort of thin. Hard to get them thin with a Sharpie, but you should be using a pencil with a sharp nib. And then texture lines just kind of around his eye, these kind of detail lines. Yeah, so then eyebrows and things. So one eyebrow coming up, down, back up. And then again, it's just like thickened up. So we just thicken it up this way. I'm not sure if his eyebrows are brown and black. They're probably brown in like the anime, but they're black in this. So it's kind of up to you what way you want to do it. It's up to me as well. What do I want to do? I'll just do black. I think they are black in the anime. Right, like so. And then he has like some eyelid lines just coming across here. And then we do the same thing on the other side, this kind of bendy eyebrow. It eventually goes underneath his hair. And then this will go around, thicken it up, and it gets thin at the back. You can just make it dark inside. Then add some eyelid lines, like so. So we just get down a bit and we'll do his nostrils and his nose. So we got one nostril there on the left. And then we can see a different kind of shape. It's like this curving S shape, right? So it'll go, because they're showing the side of his nose. It'll go like up this way. It's kind of like showing the tip of his nose and some of the nostril down there. And then he's got these shadows on his nose. So it's kind of common in Demon Slayer, just these hatching lines through the bridge of his nose. So his mouth is kind of open. So he's kind of in shock, right? So we've got this, I always think of it like a stretched out letter M, or the handle of a bow and arrow, right? So it'll go up, down, back up, back down. Or like, if you were drawing birds flying in the sky, that kind of shape. And then the bottom lip, just to open up his mouth. You could leave his mouth like that if you wanted, but just to open it up, we'll just go down and around into there. And maybe darken up the corners a little bit just to show there's some shadow and some teeth in there. And then in Demon Slayer, they usually have this triangular sort of shadow underneath their bottom lip, like that. Right, so then his chin, just down here, relatively square sort of chin, right? So that's kind of the features of the face, okay? So like, in general, eyes to nostril there is about the same as nostril to chin. So here to here, this distance is about the same as here to here to his pupil. Like, it's approximate, his head is tilted. So, but if you're wondering about proportion, if you're roughly in this distance between these two spaces, you're fairly accurate. And then between the nostril and his bottom lip is about the same as the bottom lip to the chin. Okay, just if anyone wonders about that kind of stuff. So then, his jaw goes up this way. Right? And then goes up the side on the other side. And you can see now the angle of his face a bit better. So it's, this. And that way. And in general, you want your jaws to stop at the edge of the eyes there. See if I just put two lines here. They kind of line up with the edge of the eyes. Stay. Okay. And that's where you change your direction. So you go up like that, and then up here. This one doesn't go as far because of his hair. So we'll just stop it there. Speaking of hair, we've got this V in the middle of his forehead, just there. And then he's got these hair spiking lines. Oops. He's got these hair spiking lines going this way, like that. And then another one kind of here. And then, right, so hair fringe lines, right? So it goes up, a piece of hair comes down. This actually goes across his eye and down across his face like that. Okay, and then it goes like back up and around, down into here. There's more like texture lines and stuff on it. His hair's relatively dark, so next one. Go up this way, down to a spike, back in, down this way, spike in here, back up around, up into there. Now you can be as careful with this as you want. Hair moves, it doesn't have to be exactly like mine. You can do it slightly different. But once you get sort of the fall of his hair going down, you should be okay. So then, coming out from here, maybe like some more sort of texture lines and hair spikes and things. Another piece of his fringe kind of goes like that way and back up around into there. And then some more hair going down here. I think there's like a little, you can see a bit of his ear in here, like that, and then another sort of hair spike here. And then it goes back around. Like so. I'm not, there's more, this is like all hair just in here. So hair keeps going sort of down around his head, and there's extra spikes and all this kind of stuff. So spike here, sticks out a little bit, up and in to there. Some more bumps and going up and around. All the way down, all this hair sort of sticking out here now. Like so, then another one there. So I think that's it for his hair. That's what it looks like to me anyway. Okay, so this is like a bit of his ear, so we should see like some ear things inside here, like some hatching or something. And then we can see his other ear, just kind of down in line, so horizontal, diagonal, sort of down here. Like another detail inside. Right, so he's been beheaded pretty quickly. So like his collar for his shirt is here, right? For his kimono, should I say, classic Japanese style clothing, right? So they kind of crisscross each other here. This will go around his head, right? And so his head is like sliding this way. So like his neck then kind of goes out like so. And then it'll curve around for where the cut is being made. Right, and this kind of goes up underneath his jaw. And then like his neck muscle will be there. But then we can see, you can see like blood and sort of flesh, right? So there's like a gap. So his kind of head is sliding like that way. So let's say the neck muscle that's like here would connect, but it's like there and then there, right? So it's kind of off a little bit. And then there's a little bit of a gap, like for like where you would put like dark sort of blood color just here. You can put some hatching inside if you want to do it sort of manga style. You know, and there's sort of drops of blood and things. So like, let's just do, what do we do? We'll do like blobs of blood, kind of like if it was an anime, because it's all done, he's like splashed red ink. So we'll just do sort of these kind of blobs rolling down. Like so. So then, so he's been sliced up in all different ways. So like his shoulder's being like sliced. So it goes to there, and then he's like being sliced in half. So he like goes down this way, right? Oop. And then his other shoulder here. And then the like line for that there. And then his collar comes down here and up. And then the collar goes around the back of his head again on that side. And if you want, fold lines and stuff on his shoulder and his clothing, like that. There's all patterns like in the manga done on this, but we'll just do it sort of black or something. They use like an actual texture and just kind of Photoshop it on top. And you can do that if you're able. So then his, like more of his clothing goes this way, fold line. Like his arm just goes off there. So then in here, there's like a flame slicing through him, okay? So like there's like, it's like going around the back of his head and his arm, right? So we can see sort of this sort of flaming shapes, right? Like this kind of stuff. All these kind of hooks and lines that go down his body that way. Make another one here, like so. And like maybe an inside section as well to this, because in Demon Slayer they like to add these inner yellow parts as well. So that'd be like yellow and that'd be orangey red. And then maybe some coming out from behind his head as well. And then his arm keeps going this way. There's more flame and stuff, but we'll try and get Yoriichi in, and then we'll add as much flame as we can. So his shoulder then sort of comes out from here. And then it'll go down, curve down there, because it's all this flowing fabric, right? So it curves down, and then it spikes sort of back up here, and then it goes all the way down, right? So it's like a flowing sleeve. There's another line here connecting those, and this will sort of bump around here. Got another line this way, and then this will come underneath around up to there, and like fold lines and things, because it's fabric curving around the arm. So imagine like his arm is under there, so you want to curve around, and then his body sort of that way, and his body's been sliced in half as well, but you can't really see. So there's just like, so this would be like blood red inside here. So you can just do some hatching maybe there. If you have enough more room, you could just curve this around and do some more side of his body. It's like falling this way. And he's lost an arm as well, right? So you can just see this sort of stub coming out here. Okay. And again, blobs. And you might actually put some, I don't know if it's fire coming out of it, but we'll do some like, you can make this fire or blood. It's kind of up to you, really. Right, but he's losing his arm there. Okay. Now, more fire in the background, but we'll just draw what we can see of Yoriichi first. So you can just kind of see his back and his hands and some of his hair, and then the flame of his sword. So he's standing in behind, like he's flown through, so he's up here. So Right, so when you're drawing the back of a character, it's kind of tricky, right? So we can just see these two bumps here, right? We'll draw his his kimono, right? So there's like a bump there. So his body's going this way. We've got like these two bumps. This is like the back of his kimono, right? Going this way. So go down and it kind of flows up. It's like a curve here and then comes back down in behind there. And then his sleeve flows up this way, right? So hard to make out now what we're actually drawing, but if you get these shapes sort of as best you can, you'll see. This comes down around to there, and then sort of sleeve goes down this way, and then another line on top. There. So these are just like all 4 lines, and then he's got like a shirt or something here, and then his sleeve on the other side there, the white part. Okay, so it makes sense then when we see his head. So his head is like just up here on the top of his back. You can't see his neck, right? So you can just see a curved line here, and then on the other side you can kind of see the side of his face and his head, right? So like we'll just do another curved line, just sort of coming around here, and then we'll put an ear in. So say his jaw, so you can see a little bit of his jaw there, and then his ear, the back of his ear, like so. Okay, and then that earring that sticks off, you know, flying off this way. The land of the rising sun, sort of sun and rays just coming down, right? Kind of like that. So his hair is tied up, so we got like this kind of sort of separation with some texture lines coming down that way, and then hair all flying up around here. Probably go off my page, most of it anyway. Alright, going that way, and then you can add like some texture lines and stuff. Just some hairlines there. So some flame in here, and his hands going this way. Now the hands aren't really drawn that good. No offense. Like they're like, well, one hand looks okay, and then this one up here, it's kind of like he only has 3 fingers and things. But we'll go for it anyway. So let's see. So we have like this white shirt sort of here. And then his arm, so like forearm up, down. Then it comes up to like a knuckle, and then comes across here for 1 finger. Down. 1, 2. I'll try and add an extra finger because there's only 3 there. 3, and maybe like a 4th just here. So that's like the pinky. Okay. So then our hand knuckle lines there. And the palm of his hand goes up. And then his forearm, wrist, forearm goes into there. Okay, kind of like that. And I'm not sure if we can see his thumb or what that is. It might be his thumb. So there might be like a bit of a thumb sticking up here. Like that. And then his other arm. So he's holding onto his sword. So it's right below this one. So we just go like up, down, and then like knuckles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Around for like the palm of his hand. And then we can see the tops of his fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finger lines. Like so. And then his little finger kind of curves around here. Just like all knuckle lines and stuff on top like so. And then, so his thumb, just in here. Like that, and then like a thumbnail, make it look more like a thumb. And then his arm, wrist kind of comes down this way, out for a forearm, and then back in there. And then we can just see his wrist on this side, sort of coming this way. And then out like so, and then you could have some lines there like that. So I'm not a fan of this little line on the pinky. I'm just going to get rid of that. Sorry, now I'm a stickler for detail. Okay, and then the handle of his sword, just here. All right, and then we have the hilt of his sword. So like you can just see sort of classic Japanese kind of. So it goes, let's say, so we go up, across, up again, across. That's not like a round shape. It goes down, across, around, down, there. Now you could do Tanjiro's is round, so if you wanted to just do a round one, it'd be easier. And then it has an edge. Some sort of extra little kind of patterns and things coming around. Like that. And then the actual sword itself, the blade, goes off my page that way. With that black line going up the center there. And then this will have, the handle of the sword usually has some like textures and things on it. Triangles and stuff on like that. Okay, so then we just got to add some like extra flame sort of lines. So we'll do coming from, yeah, we'll just go from like around his body, just to add some stuff here. Right, so like just there's lots of this fire. Just going off. That'll be all filled with fire, you know, you can do fire and then coming down. Say some smaller ones around Yoriichi because it gets kind of smaller as we go up here. So going around towards his sword. You know, sort of around the blade here. So this is all sort of fire inside here. And then it'll come out the, oh yeah, and he has some fringe sort of spikes coming out from his head here. Right there. And then more sort of fire. All going down this way. That, and all yellow and red inside there. And you know, if you want, you can add more anywhere you want. You'd fill the whole page if you wanted with the fire, which would probably be pretty good. And then like an interior sort of section that's going to be sort of yellow. Like so. And then like some fire dots and shapes and all that kind of stuff. Like that. Just add some yellow inside here. Do, 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 do. And so that's fire. It's all yellow fire. All right, but I think that's everything. That's how to draw Yoriichi versus Muzan. Hope it was helpful, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.